Hello everyone. Maybe I have to lower this a little bit. It's amazing. In front of your very eyes, the seasons are changing. Can you believe that? I got a jacket on. It's like cool out here right now. I was just doing pool videos just the other day. And now it's cold out already. Seasons change and so do I. You need not wonder why. Who's that? The Who? The Guess Who? Need not wonder why. No time left for you. No time left for I'm not afraid to. Sergeant George Ishak, hello. Hello, Lee Perry. How are you? Good to see everyone. 10 people in the chat. Nola, Mom, good morning. Bill, EJ, would love the cool weather. So hot here in Florida. Isabel Scarlett, hello. S. Rodriguez, Sherry Fitzgerald, good morning, Bill. Good morning to everyone. I mean, I got my Equus Midwest Equus search hat on. Love this. Hello, Supreme Commander. I almost forgot that was my name, but that's okay. It's a Supreme Commander. I'll take that. 41 in the chat. 14 thumbs up. Michelle Scott, Don Hagerman, Sarah Sturgill, Pamela White. Good morning. You know, guys, it's been the last couple of weeks. We've been working. Phil and I and myself alone haven't been putting up a lot of content. You know, and some of these cases. They get a little stressful, you know. The Eliza Fletcher case, that's so horrible, man. It reminds me of hello, Kim Allison. Hi, Sergeant Bill. I'm doing well. That case is so heartbreaking, you know. And we knew, after all, hey, Supreme, aka Supreme Commander. Hello, everyone. That case, like we knew from the onset of it, that when she was forced into that car, we knew that it was going to be a bad ending. It just, I've never heard ever someone forced into a car that didn't end really badly. Denise Olas, I feel bad for everyone who worked my case. Girl Friday, pulling up a chair to listen to the Supreme Commander. Sarah Sturgill, so good to see all these. Do you guys agree about that case, the Eliza Fletcher case? Wasn't it horrible for everyone even listening, following the case? The only news update I saw today is that the judge said no bail. Absolutely, this guy should never ever get bail. I mean, we're even thinking of giving bail to a guy like that is, I just cannot understand that. You know, and I guess it's the whole progressive criminal justice system. Let's be kind and gentle. You know, we already showed kindness and gentleness to this guy, and he responded the only way he knows how, by murdering a mother of two. An innocent, wonderful, you know, shining son of this world, Eliza Fletcher. I mean, 34 years old, two young sons. Kindergarten teacher, imagine those 5 and 6-year-olds. Where's Miss Fletcher? You know, what do you tell them, you know? After all, Sergeant Bill, I thought you would maybe wrong this time. Since the attorney survived, she would survive. No, you know, one of the big clues that she wasn't going to survive also was the blitz style of attack it was. He apparently inflicted deadly physical force on her right as the attack went down. And that was told to the family, and in fact, I think that's why they never put the video out, because it showed the extreme amount of force that he used to get her into the car. And then the fact that he stayed there for 4 minutes. You know, horrible. I almost don't even like to talk about this case, but I think that what we need to focus on now is Eliza Fletcher and the woman she was, and the fantastic mother and kindergarten teacher and member of the community that she was. And, you know, as they said yesterday in the press conference, the investigation continues. The investigation is not over. They still need to find out a lot of things, keep the investigation going, but it's not at the pace that it was. Sarah Sturgill, may she rest in peace, and our prayers go out to her family. That goes without saying, 100,000%. Lieutenant Pete, Harlem Raiders is on the air. I don't know if any of you guys watched our show last night with Mike Carew. That great, what a fun, he's a funny guy actually, you know. Cop, real cop, real detective, and a master scuba diver. Captain Mike now he is. He owns his own dive shop. But a funny guy, but so knowledgeable about scuba diving. And he gave his, some input on the Kiely Rodni case. We didn't really dissect it. He just gave us his opinion on it. And he's another one, and he is a professional that believes Adventures with Purpose is amazing. How could you go against what they've done? Ruth Ann Griffin, Mikey Carew, great guy. Yeah, I mean, I had him on the show about 2 years ago, and I always wanted to have him come back, but I wanted it to be for the right case, and this was the right case. And I suppose I'll have him back on. I'll have him back on again because, first of all, people are fascinated with scuba diving. And, he mentioned the different types of scuba diving for fun, scuba diving for recreation, scuba diving to look for, go hunting for fish or lobsters. And then there's scuba diving for recovery and forensic scuba diving. And he does all of those things. And, he told us a couple of the real dangers that he ran into in scuba diving and how Sherilyn Schaffner, how are you? Good to see you. Very good to see you. Guys, I recognize almost every single name in this chat, and I really applaud all you folks that are regulars here with Coffee with Cannon. And this is sort of a show in addition to Police Off the Cuff. It's taken on a life of its own. And I want to thank all of you guys for coming by every time I go live. Boom, you're here. I really appreciate that. And the other thing is if there's anyone in the chat that's not subscribed, go on our YouTube, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up. And again, if you want to support us on Patreon, we have 3 different levels. And of course, our YouTube channel members, which is growing. For the first time, it's starting to grow. I was nervous for a while. I was like, we're not loved. Oh, people don't love us. But you guys do love us. 108 in the chat, 50 with the thumbs up. Pauline Buckles, thank you, Pauline. Michelle Lipscomb, hello, Bill. How are you doing? Well, I'm doing well. I'm doing well, guys. It's a little weird to be back in my backyard because it feels more like a fall day. And I feel like, something, maybe I'll do the other side of the house because it's more like a fall day. And if I go by the pool, it looks a little bit like it's warm out, and it's not. Ken Thomas, respect and love what you do. Thank you, Ken. Jolene, that's that Dolly Parton song. Jolene, 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 Jolene. You've probably sung that all the time, Jolene. And does it ever get tired? I don't know. Maybe it gets tired. Yeah, so we've been doing a lot of different cases going on the air pretty often. How about Duty Run the other night? He had the Adventures with Purpose guy on George Bishop. And the sergeant, retired NYPD sergeant, who was the commanding officer of the scuba unit. That was a great show. I mean, what a fantastic show. And I think Duty Run's trying to get the 3 guys from Adventures with Purpose, Jared, George Bishop, and Nick, and get them on the show. I think that would be a real get. Mickey Mantle is on the air. Number 7, Mickey Mantle. Any Yankee fans on here? I mean, what do you think of this guy, Judge? Seems like every other day he's whacking a home run. He's at, 53 or 54? He's on pace to surpass Roger Maris. But you know what? I didn't totally know, because I'm not a big baseball fan, but my kids are, that supposedly Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, and Mark McGwire, their home run records are with an asterisk, because it was recognized that it was performance-enhancing drugs that gave them that inhuman strength. I think Barry Bonds hit 70, right? Isn't that the record now? I don't know, Mark McGwire, maybe, 65, 66, and Sammy Sosa also up there. But there's an asterisk? Any big-time baseball fans out there? There's an asterisk with those guys' records. So is really are we recognizing Roger Maris, a true Yankee, as that's the home run record, 63 for a year? Come on, baseball fans. I'm not a huge baseball fan. I'm asking a question. Is that Kathy Bates and Axel, diehard Red Sox, is that considered to be the home run record for a year, 63? Or is it Barry Bonds at 70? Where are all my baseball fans? Where have all the baseball fans gone? Long time passing. Where have all the baseball players gone? Long time ago. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? That actually is taken from Where Have All the Flowers Gone by Pete Seeger, which was a protest song against the Vietnam War, right? But I can fit it for the baseball thing. So, wait a minute, Roger Maris, again, I'm wrong. He hit 61 home runs. So then Judge just has to surpass him, and he'll be the new record holder for the most home runs in a Major League Baseball season. Take me out to, I used to sing that to my son when he was a little kid. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ride. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if they ever come back, and it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. And it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out in the old ball game. I used to have my son sing that when he was a little kid, maybe like 4 or 5 years old, and he used to love screaming the parts, root for the, oh, it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out in the old ball game. Wow. Yeah. So then if Judge surpasses 61, he'll be the new single season home run leader in the major leagues, as I understand, because he doesn't have to surpass the roid monsters. The roid monsters. Even though those guys were roided, and admittedly so, they still had to hit the ball. They still had to have the talent to hit the ball, to have the eye coordination, the hand-eye coordination to hit the ball over the fence. Yes, their strength was inhuman through performance-enhancing drugs, but it's a strange situation. How many pro football players you think are taking performance-enhancing drugs? Does anyone know that answer? I'm not saying that makes it right, but how many do you think are taking performance-enhancing drugs? Oh, I gotta move this thing. I'd say a lot. Pamela White, Bill, how do you keep a good attitude after dealing with so much sadness in your career? That's easy. I have a good family. I have a good wife. I have a good diversions away from sadness and despair, and I work on it and try to keep a positive mental attitude. I rant a lot, bitching with Bill. I could have called it bitching with Bill today, but I tried to. Come on, Tom Brady. Ron, do you think Tom Brady's roided? Or is he on some kind of holistic substance? How about Armstrong, the Lance Armstrong, the bicyclist who no one could touch for years, and everyone was saying, he's on roids, he's definitely on performance-enhancing drugs, and they couldn't catch him. He was so good at it. And he actually sued some journalist and was awarded millions of dollars. He sued him for claiming that he was on performance-enhancing drugs. And the journalist actually paid him off. And then years later, they found out he was on performance. And I guess he had to pay back that journalist who he sued because he was granted a damage suit. And it turned out, after all the time, the investigation, he was on performance-enhancing drugs. I don't know. Football players, part of their life and part of what happens to them all the time is injury. And if you know anything about steroids and building muscle and strength is tearing down the muscle. And then as it heals, it gets bigger and stronger. So you could see why professional football players would take performance-enhancing drugs to heal faster, to recover faster, I mean, that doesn't make it right, but do you think that the NFL is really putting in policies to try to catch these guys? What do you think? Stronger, faster, you know? Isn't that the motto to the Olympics? Longer, faster, stronger. What was the third thing? I know it was stronger, faster. That's the Olympics. So, Moonlight View, it's a sham. You think it's a sham? Well, all of these sports enterprises make millions and millions of dollars off these players. When you see a player get sick money, like, you know, say, I don't know, what's sick? Well, let's use Mahomes. Mahomes got like a $500 million contract. Close to it, don't quote me. Close to $500 million. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs are making that kind of money to be able to pay that. How much money are they making if they're able to pay Mahomes that much money? Or Rodgers, or Brady, or any of these guys. They're obviously making so much money that they can pay this. So, you know, it's a little bit crazy, right? How did this become a sports show? I didn't really mean this to become a sports show. So last night, yeah, we had Mike Carew on, a great scuba diver. And of course, we were talking about the Kiely Rodni case. Hard to handle. Put me in, coach, ready to play. That's Clearwater Revival, right? Put me in there. I'm ready to play. Every day, look at me. I can be center field. That's right. That's a great tune, right? That's a great baseball tune. There's, I guess there's other baseball tunes out there. You got me derailed of what I was talking about, though. Karen Kennedy, when the guy was released from prison, why was he just let go, no parole, follow-up, just go back to the same life and people? I believe he was on parole. I don't know how strict his parole was, how often he had to report. Cleotha Abston, you're talking about, the 38-year-old charged with the murder of Eliza Fletcher. I mean, the guy should really be on lifetime parole for the crime that he committed. But we're getting what's called a kinder, gentler criminal justice system, which is misguided, in my opinion. I remember something when I was on the police department, something that made me laugh, and it wasn't funny. Some guy out on parole with an ankle monitor on goes out and shoots 5 people right near his building and then just goes home. He's got an ankle monitor and he let me just leave the apartment for a few seconds to shoot some people, you know. It's like the presumption that a criminal's not going to keep doing crimes because he's wearing an ankle monitor. And you want to hear the scariest thing? No one monitors the ankle monitor. No one's there in real time watching where this guy goes. I thought that was the case. No, it's not. No one's looking at it. They only look at it after the guy does something, after he violates it. I don't know, maybe they get some like beep. Oh, he left his house for 5 hours, and where did he go? And shows the GPS where he went. That's the only time people watch it. No one else looks at it unless they violate it. Hello, Dawn Marie in the chat. Heather whatever, really. Kim Alliston saying hello to Fuzzy Doxty. Guys, we have the greatest show tonight, and it's a light show. It's light by the fact it's going to be fun. It's going to be funny. We have 3 retired chiefs. One was actually a police commissioner. And all 3 of them were really noteworthy chiefs on the NYPD. One probably one of the most noteworthy and notorious chiefs in NYPD history, and that's Chief Louis Adamone. And he was always, whenever anyone would say Chief Louis Adamone, they would say the hard-charging Louis Adamone, because he was an aggressive street cop. He came up through the ranks and always worked in the worst precincts. He was a 3-2 guy. He was in street crime. He was in narcotics. as he went up through the ranks. And he was known as a go-to guy. And whenever they had any problems, they put him in charge of the riots in Brooklyn. I believe it was after the Crown Heights riots. After that kid, I'm trying to think of his name, a young black kid was run over by some, accidentally, but run over by some Hasidic Jews, and it caused a huge riots in Crown Heights. And even though there were chiefs that outranked Adamone, the chief of patrol at the time put Adamone as an inspector in charge of the riots. And Adamone took the streets back. He took the streets back. Hawkins, you're right, Patrick Glanville. What was his first name? You're right, his name was Hawkins. And I think a Hasidic Jewish funeral procession with a whole bunch of cars, an entourage, went through the lights, and they hit this kid and killed him. And it spurred, I don't know, days and days of riots in Crown Heights. And it was really ugly. And a Hasidic Jewish guy named Yankel Rosenbaum was stabbed to death in these riots. So that just further exacerbated these riots. And it was really a sort of an ugly time in New York City. And again, Chief Louis Adamone, who's going to be on the show tonight, at the time he was an inspector, he took over command and took the streets back. And that's the kind of chief he was and the reputation he had. And if you were a hard-working cop, he loved you. He left you alone. If you were a zero, if you were a do-nothing, he was all over you, you know. He was all over you. Pauline Buckles, Marathon Man. Kim Alston, Peter Pranzo, 7-7 side and 7-1 side, always split. Lieutenant Pete's originally a Brooklyn guy, so Lieutenant Pete knows all about that stuff. Was the kid's name Yusef Hawkins? Was that the kid's name? It's sort of ringing a bell in my brain right now. Was it Yusef Hawkins that was run over? Yes, Patrick Glanville. It's right. Thank you for giving me the last name. It shook up my cobwebs in my brain, and I was able to come up. But it was a real ugly situation in New York City, and again, Adamone took it over. Anyway, the other chief, another chief, is Chief Joe Fox, who was the 3-star chief, I believe, a super chief. He was the head of the transit police, but what a gem of a guy. He's now a motivational speaker. And every chance he gets, he visits precincts and says hello to the cops, takes his picture with the cops, tells them to keep their heads up, to keep their morale up. What a great guy. What a great guy. And last but not least, Eddie Hartnett, who was, I believe, a 1-star chief because he left the department to become the police commissioner of Yonkers. And equally a great guy, Eddie Hartnett. So those 3 chiefs are going to come on the show tonight at 9 p.m. and they're going to tell their favorite war stories from the NYPD. And we made it a little even more interesting. There's a $200 prize voted on by you guys on who tells the best war story. And that $200 prize is for dinner for 2 at Spumoni Gardens in Brooklyn. So I think it's going to be a hell of an interesting and fun show. It's going to be fun. You know, some of the shows that we've been covering lately have been really heavy duty. And it'll be good to have a lighter show on and have some fun, have some laughs. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. So I hope you guys join us tonight, because you're going to be the ones that vote on who wins, on who tells the best story or stories. They each get 20 minutes. I told them they can tell one 20-minute story, or they can tell 2 10 or 3, whatever they want, but they get 20 minutes. That's it. That's enough, right? I think it should be. Spumoni Gardens are unbelievable, man. The food there is incredible. They have those square pizzas that are sort of like we would know in other areas would be called Sicilian, but they call them squares, and it's known all over the city. People come from all over to get those square pizzas, and it's just When I tell you, it is unbelievable. I brought a couple of them home, and my son Jake was here, and he goes, "Can I take one of these pies to the city?" I said, "Sure." And I was told that you could freeze them, and then to thaw them out, I guess you could put them quickly in the microwave just to thaw it out, or unless you have the time to let it sit there. And then you put it in the oven with a little bit of olive oil on it and some Parmesan cheese, and it's as good as new. And I didn't believe that, and I tried it. Someone was just talking about the Dan Abrams show in the chat. It went by so quick. If you could repost that, I'll reread it. Dan Abrams has that Live on Patrol show. I haven't been watching it, but I'm sure people love cop shows. You know, remember after the riots, they just took all cop shows off the air. Like, are you kidding me? It's a genre of movies, of entertainment, of television that should never and will never go away. They're going to just make it disappear, you know. Fuzzy Doxy, oh my God, you're making me so hungry. Yeah, those squares from Spumoni Gardens, I have a picture of it, man. And sometimes I put it up on the channel and people are like, oh my God, where is that place? It's right near Bensonhurst in Brooklyn, you know. Incredible. Trucker Steve, how are you, buddy? Hello, everyone. Boxing MMA. 142 in the chat, 112 with the thumbs up. Guys, we're growing this channel. I mean, we're almost at 132,000. We just crossed very recently 130,000, all because of you guys. And, you know, I'm getting a lot of actually fans from Duty Ron, subscribers from Duty Ron's joining us. And I thank Duty Ron for helping us out that way. And, of course, our engineer, Josh, who helps us and does some great things. Heather, whatever, an outdoor oven would be good, too hot to cook. Dan Abrams show on Patrol, 3 hours of police work every weekend. I love it. Judy Fisher, she's been watching Dan Abrams on Patrol Live, 3 hours. She said it's amazing. Guys, watch that show. It was very successful before they renamed it and before they had to take it off the air, because all of these spineless TV executives, after the George Floyd thing, were afraid to play police shows. Like, people were going to boycott police shows. It's so ridiculous, you know. Alicia B, you know, we bought my sister and her husband outdoor pizza oven, and they love it. They make fresh pizza right outside there. Oh my God. Everyone's getting hungry, me talking about pizza. It's lunchtime too, right? So tonight will be the show with the three chiefs. It's going to be great. And all you guys, come by, bring your friends, bring your family. Order a square pizza from Spumoni Gardens if you're near Brooklyn. Wouldn't you like if they could deliver anywhere? That'd be amazing, right? Yes, if we deliver to outer boroughs, there's a $25 delivery charge. People would probably still do it. Just, you know, there's a restaurant on Long Island in Merrick called Mateo's. And my sister used to live in Merrick, and I love the food at Mateo's. And it was was it my birthday or something? We had a lot of people over my house, and my sister said, I'm taking care of the food. And she had someone from her company, she works for this company, pick up the food from Mateo's, which is, you know, an hour and 15 drive from there without traffic to my house. And they delivered Mateo's food. I was like, this is unbelievable. Like, you know, coming from Long Island, you got to cross a bridge. And she paid the guy and tipped him and everything. And I was just like, that was great. Who would have ever expected food from Mateo's? It was just fantastic. You know, just think of being able to get food from your favorite restaurant and you being anywhere, being far away from it. Wow. Girl Friday makes pizza. Alicia B, nice to see you. Follow the grain in your own wood. Isn't it the greatest name? I love that. Follow the grain in your own wood. That says a lot too, you know. Does that say MYOB? Follow the grain in your own wood. Is that what that means? MYOB? Or is it something more positive than MYOB? Which of course is mind your own business, right? Pizza. I like that thin crust pizza. I have a place up near me in Pleasantville called Arthur Avenue Pizza, modeled after Arthur Avenue in the Bronx. And they do this LA connection. I own a 50% pizza restaurant. You mean you own 50% of the restaurant, not a 50% restaurant, right? Follow the grain in your own wood. Yeah, it's called Friendly Pizza. There's a place, yeah, so in Pleasantville, Arthur Avenue Pizza, and they have this really thin crust, wood-fired pizza. Unbelievable. It's delicious. Love it. And then, the pies are such that there's 4 slices, thin crust. You can eat 4 slices, It's like Patsy's on 119th Street in the 25 precinct, 119th and 1st. You could eat a whole pie by yourself of Patsy's. The pizza there is amazing too. That thin crust. We used to go there when I was in the 2-3 or in Homicide. We'd go there and say, yeah, can we have 15 pizzas? They're like, okay. They're used to orders like that because, each person can eat a whole damn pie, So we'd bring 15 pizzas back to it's not like a regular heavy pizza, Trucker Steve, Connecticut, follow the grain in your own wood. If that were the case, it went by too fast. Josh, what title are you thinking of, Josh? Something like, mention Eliza Fletcher and also Kiely Rodni, a title with both of their names in it. I think that would be the best. Josh is our engineer. Amazing. He helps me out all the time. He's Duty Ron's engineer. 150 in the chat, 123 thumbs up. So good to have all you guys here. Pizza brings people together. Isn't that the truth? Pizza definitely brings people together. When I used to teach college, we would order pies for the class and stuff, and the pizza place that got the order for this college, I'm sure they did a lot of business for them. You order it for your class. Hey, I got 10 pies coming in or whatever. And it was fun. It's a lot of fun, a little pizza party, right? Michelle Lipscomb, what's your favorite pizza in New York City? I love Bleecker Street Pizza. I like that too. I actually like Patsy's on 119th Street and 1st Avenue. Amazing. They have amazing pizza. Yolanda Evgenu, I teach at a college. So then you order pizza. You have a favorite pizza place, Yolanda, that you order for your college students? I used to try to get the school to pay for it, Sometimes they would. Sometimes they, we're not doing pizza this week. And growing up on Long Island, Pizza King made the best pizza. Not sure if they're even still there. That was a long time ago. Everything changes, man, especially pizza places, Patricia Burns, teach what at college? Yolanda, is that you? I can't spell. Pronouncing your last name is, maybe write it phonetically. Is it Uvengio? Evenjo? It's hard to pronounce. Oh my God. Follow the grain in your own wood. Medicine. Whoa. You're a doctor, a nurse practitioner, physician's assistant. Could be a lot of things, but that's a great field. Mark Prince, I'm hungry now for pizza. I know, just talking about food, you get crazy hungry, right? Guys, this is Coffee with Cannon, Bitchin' with Bill, backyard beverage, whatever you want to call it. Let's just call it Coffee with Cannon today. Or Josh may have already put up Bitchin' with Bill. But we're building an audience for this show, believe it or not. And when I used to start out and just do this show in my yard, I'd get a couple of hundred people watch. Now regularly we get a couple of thousand people watch it, which is that's great. That's great, Hunter ex-angler, I'd love to own a good pizza spot for decades and just die. Everyone will miss and remember me. Yeah, famous for your pizza. Imagine that. Lug G, pizza for everyone. Bill's buying. Imagine I had to have it delivered all over the world. There's people, L-U-G, all over the world in this chat. Yolanda, I love your show. Thank you, Yolanda. It's very much appreciated. Pretty yard. Yeah, I love this yard. It's really beautiful. I used to play football with my kids. We didn't have this big thing up years ago, and we used to play football back here, and or wiffle ball. we had a ball. Look, I always loved playing sports with my kids. I loved to teach them to play sports uh, from a young age. And they used to kill each other playing football in the yard. Sort of funny. And the older one is like, 2.5 years older than the younger one. So when you're at a certain age, that's a lot. Gail, how are you? Gail Salaturi, how are you? Mark Prince. Peter Pran's are going to hand it out with Richella after the show and munch on a few slices. I got to Lieutenant Pete. You can't talk about pizza in front of an Italian guy. He's got to, it's in his DNA. He's got to go out and get a few slices. JC, Belgian Bill was terrible. Should have known when she was in that vehicle. It was like the, yeah, he's talking about Eliza Fletcher. We're going to still follow that case. We know now it's going to be the prosecution, and if there's anything more to find out, instead of buy me a coffee, you two should have buy me a pizza. That's right, Judy Fisher. After all, I ate a large pizza in one sitting many years ago. 8 slices? That's tough to do. 8 slices, that's a lot. That's a lot of pizza, right? It's pretty heavy, Rhonda, hello. Ryan Investigative Group. Bill Ryan, how are you, Bill? Heather, whatever. I'm too practical. I keep thinking about the 500-degree oven. Lug G, there's a group here in Memphis who are doing a run called Let's Finish Eliza's Run. Yeah, I mean, she deserves all the memorials to her that possibly she could receive, Great woman, 34 years old. The prime of her life, just snatched away from her by this savage, Just, pardon me that I have no sympathy for these career criminals, Mickey Mantle, Bill, you're terrible for the calories. I already been to the fridge. You know what I love too? You guys ever eat those Milano's double chocolate cookies? Oh my God, I have to stop buying them because they're so unbelievable. Milano double chocolate cookies. Oh, I'll stop. I know some of you are going to jump in your car and head to the store right now because I'm sure you could start talking about certain foods too. And Alley Cat, hello. Pink Karate, hey boxing MMA. And the one thing I'll give you, Milano with coffee. Milano cookies. Yes, they're unbelievable. Dang it, Bill, you're killing me. And one other thing, my favorite ice cream now. Haagen-Dazs caramel cone. Unbelievable. But it seems like every time I go to the store, they don't have it. They're out of it. I don't know if they stock it and it sells out or they're not stocking enough of it. So I take that as a sign from God. He doesn't want me to have Haagen-Dazs caramel cone ice cream. We're going to make you lay off that this week, Bill. We're going to make it sold out, or we're going to make the store not have it. Follow the grain in your wood, chocolate peanut butter. Lulu Love, oh my God, I need chocolate now. Go get some of those Milano's double chocolates. They're amazing. Stores don't have everything, no. Anyone here from California? I'm reading all about the electrical brownouts there and that they're dispensing or telling people not to use this, not to use that. How the hell are they ever going to go green when they don't have enough electricity to go around for their population? How are they going to do that? And I'm not trying to be political. I'm really asking. How are they going to go green? Lulu Love, how is it with the electricity in California? I'm reading all kinds of things that these emojis aren't fattening. Mary Williamson put in some. Dragonfly Lady, I'm in California. How is it with the electricity? Are they rationing the electricity? After all, we should send Sergeant Bill a ton of pizza. I can only eat so much, Dragonfly Lady, it's ridiculous, Bill. Cali going blue right into the ocean. Blackouts today. New York has the best pizza. Yeah, I'm just wondering because, I think that, look, I'm for green energy, but I think we have to do it reasonably. You can't do it overnight. You can't flick a switch and go to green energy. It has to be done slowly, Lulu Love from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. What, you got to turn off your electricity? So What about when it's 100 degrees? Can you use your AC? Or will that cause a brownout? I just, and the other thing is that they got rid of years ago, and now many people are proponents of it, is nuclear power. You mention nuclear power in California like everything else. Oh no, that's not green energy. No, we can't use that. What is the answer? Apparently even to run green energy, you need fossil fuels. You know, these batteries, to make these batteries, you need fossil fuels, you know. So I don't know. And look, I'm definitely no engineer and can, so you're advised not to use your air conditioning. But how do you sleep in a 100-degree weather without AC? Pretty crazy. Michael Marcocculi, New York has the best pizza and Florida has the best governor. Cheers, cheers. Guys, 176 people in the chat, 144 with the thumbs up, 178 now. You think we can reach 200 today? There were some days I was saying, can we reach 300? But today we're at 180 now, 144 in the chat. Guys, if you're on here and you're not subscribed, please go on our YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. It's free to subscribe to us. Give us a thumbs up and ring that bell, okay? Kimba Jazz, yes, sleeping is unbearable at times here in California. And how long is this going to be for, this electrical brownout? Is it just for the duration of this heat wave? Or is it going to stretch into the wintertime, you know? What would happen if they rationed home heating oil? That you couldn't heat your home when it was, below freezing. That could happen, because they're going to green energy way too quickly. It has to be done slower, much slower, and I can't imagine, telling people, oh, you can't order any oil because we're going green, so you're gonna freeze your ass off this winter, Wood burning stove, yeah, not every house has one of those. You can get one, I guess. You see those that show on TV, Life Below Freezing or something like that. They live in Alaska. Rhonda, gross. I'm from South Africa. We have load shedding. It's bad in winter. Yeah, you see that Life Below Zero on TV, and they have to spend days collecting wood. They call it harvesting wood. Whoops. The harvesting wood to heat their home. Hard work, right? But guess what? You don't collect the wood, you're going to freeze your ass. You may freeze to death. So you must collect the wood. Then the utility turns off the electricity due to heat-related emergencies. They say it's so the equipment doesn't fail. I just, look, I know all of this is very political with the green energy and stuff, but they have to use their head. And I don't know if these politicians are using their head, I think they, it applies to you and me, but not to them, I can't imagine them saying, oh, we're going to turn off. You're not going to be able to get oil this winter to heat your home. So you better figure it out, You better become Jeremiah Johnson overnight. Dragonfly Lady, no, they are not, Bill. California, they're not using their heads, no, because it's political. It's so political, And what do you do do you think really like these mansions in Beverly Hills, do you really think they're turning their AC off? What do you think? Do you think they are? Think they're turning it down? Or you think their house is still like a meat locker, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Lulu Love, I agree. Alley Cat, nope. Big cities don't even allow you to have a wood-burning stove anymore, but we're way north and we burn wood and it's a great source of heat. The only thing about burning wood is you can't control the heat. It gets sometimes unbearably hot or too hot, right? Meat locker, laugh out loud. They're going to drug addicted in California. They're getting too drug addicted in California. Crazy, the electricity, what state has brownouts like that, you know? And states where it gets overwhelmingly hot. And then doesn't California also have a problem with water? Don't they have a problem having enough water for their people? So all of these things like are huge, huge problems, you know? And they talk about green energy, okay, wind energy, hydro energy, right? And solar energy. That is not enough to provide enough electricity to light the homes or to heat homes. It's not enough. So why aren't people looking at the other solutions to it? Girl Friday, school shut down when high winds occur. Big drought, my lawn looks bad. Yeah, my lawn's all burnt up too because it didn't rain. It actually rained over the last couple of days. Mickey Mantle, there's plenty of room to curl up in my fridge since Bill's been talking a lot about food. Yeah, I like food a lot too. Gail Salatori, we can control. Boxing conversations with Reggie Owens. How did you know it's not enough? How do I know that the electricity is not enough? Because they're having brownouts. So there's not enough to heat. There's not enough to supply electricity. Cars, how are we going right to battery cars? And apparently to make these batteries, you need fossil fuels. So whatever people are telling you, there's a lot of lying going on. Let's put it that way. I should have said lying. I said lying. There's a lot of lying, you know, with my true New York accent. I said it on the show last night. Someone in the chat said, sometimes your accent is so thick I can't understand you. I don't think it's that thick. Come on. And I wear my New York accent as a badge of courage, you know. So, Alley Cat, it's sad California flight, but can you blame people? The politics there? Yeah, Alley Cat, I agree. The politics are horrible. We're at just at 199. Can we get to 200? What's going on? I need 2 more for 200. We dropped to 198. Can I get to 200, guys? Come on. I'm getting close to, there's 3 minutes left. Exactly, Bill. We do not have the energy to sustain the green stuff. Love your accent, Sergeant Bill. Very appealing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My heating bill in the winter would be $800 a month. 198 in the chat. 160. 200. We just reached 200. This show is insane. Trying to be Crazy Eddie. If any of you guys are old enough to remember Crazy Eddie from that electronics store, he always used to talk real fast. And he would always end the commercial by saying, these prices are insane. So, trying to be like Crazy Eddie, Crazy Billy. Right? So, 48 minutes, we got like 2 minutes left. I want to thank all you folks that join Coffee with Cannon every day that I come on. It's really inspiring to me, and that's why I love to do it, you know. Let me go out and do a 45, 50-minute show on my patio or on my lanai, my gazebo, whatever you guys want to call it, or back by the pool, and greet all my folks, meet and greet and say hello and everything. It's so cool. 196, we're staying steady. 187 with the thumbs up. Laugh out loud, yes, Crazy Billy, God bless, we love your company, thank you. Dragonfly Lady, I really enjoy Coffee with Cannon, thanks Bill, thank you Dragonfly Lady. Patricia Burns, we love you and your accent, thank you, thank you. Alley Cat, I'll be more now, Bill, retired. Thank you, Alley Cat. You know, I'm retired from the police department. I don't teach anymore, but I don't, when people ask me, what do you do? I said, I'm a podcaster. I have a podcast. Oh, really? Do you make money on it? They say that with such snitiness in their voice. Does it make money? Yeah, it does okay. Why? Do you want to know how much? Girl Friday, got to get back to chores. 199 in the chat now, 192 thumbs up. Wow. This was a great show today. I mean, great to, you know, when I first started doing this, I was like, how could I talk to people for a half hour or first I took 20 minutes? How can I do 20 minutes? That's too long. I can't do that. Next thing I know, I'm doing 45, 50 minutes, close to an hour. Guys, I'm going to say goodbye now. Thank you so much for joining me. Coffee with Cannon, signing out.